From the rolling hills of western Pennsylvania rises a university with a proud past and an ambitious future. This is Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Founded in 1875 as Indiana Normal School, it was created to train teachers for a growing nation. And for 150 years, IUP has evolved to meet the needs of the region it serves. From teacher education to the next generation of healthcare providers, IUP prides itself on being a bold leader. From the ground or the sky, it's clear to see that IUP honors its roots while reaching for what's next. Nestled at the heart of campus, shaded by time and memory, lies the Oak Grove, IUP's most cherished and symbolic space. Over the decades, many prospective students have toured the campus, and when they arrive in the Oak Grove, they knew they found their next home. From above, it appears as a quiet cathedral of green, towering trees, winding paths, and open sky. But on the ground, the Oak Grove is alive with laughter, learning, and a sense of belonging that cannot be taught in any classroom. As the centerpiece of the Allegheny Arboretum, the Oak Grove is a living piece of art that has evolved and been preserved for the next generation of IUP students to call home. Each tree has witnessed the ebb and flow of academic life, the excitement of Welcome Week, the quiet of finals, and the joy of spring commencements. The leaves change with the calendar, but the spirit of the Oak Grove remains constant. In spring, the Oak Grove sprouts possibilities. In summer, it offers a calm stillness. In fall, it becomes a sea of gold and crimson. And in winter, snow settles on the branches like a hush, reminding us that reflection is as important as progress. It is here that IUP's values are most visible: community, resilience, and a deep respect for tradition. On the south end of the Oak Grove, a stately silhouette rises at the heart of campus. This is John Sutton Hall, the first and symbolic home of IUP. Since the school opened in 1875, Sutton Hall has stood as more than a building. It is the origin story, the memory keeper, and the enduring symbol of a university shaped by time, tradition, and tenacity. Named for the school's president, John Sutton, a local merchant from whom the school's original acreage was purchased, the hall was once the entire school. Students lived here, took classes here, and shared meals here in the Blue Room. Back then, the institution was known as the Indiana Normal School, training teachers for a young and growing nation. Its mission was humble but profound: to educate the educators. In 1975, Sutton Hall was designated a National Historic Landmark, exactly 1 century after its construction. Today, it remains a testament to resilience and vision. From the air, Sutton Hall's high Victorian design reveals a deliberate and durable grandeur. Red brick and gray sandstone speak to its craftsmanship. Throughout the decades, Sutton Hall has had many residents. Initially, it was a dormitory for female students. For many years, the university president lived here, and some say the ghost of Jane Leonard, the preceptress of the normal school from 1875 to 1921, lives on the 3rd floor. Sutton Hall houses the university's administrative offices today, yet its presence reaches far beyond paperwork. It hosts concerts in Gorell Recital Hall, events in the Blue Room, and welcomes prospective students and their families with open doors. At Sutton Hall, past and present meet and work together to ensure a bright future for IUP. On the edge of campus, a bold structure rises: sleek lines, shimmering glass, and open spaces that breathe possibility. This is John J. and Shar Kovalchick Hall, a new chapter in IUP's legacy of research, discovery, and ambition. Opened in 2023, Kovalchick Hall is a tribute to the power of education and 2 IUP alumni whose lives were shaped by it. Dr. John Kovalchick, a molecular biologist and co-inventor of a growth hormone drug, and his wife Shar made their success a starting point, not a finish line. Their $23 million gift, the largest in IUP history, has transformed their alma mater for generations to come. From above, the building glows like a beacon of innovation. It's 142,000 square feet and home to the John J. and Shar Kovalchick College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Here, biology meets geology, chemistry blends with physics, and classrooms flow seamlessly into research labs. Nestled beside Kovalchick Hall, the newest building on campus, is one of its oldest. Wilson Hall has stood as a silent sentinel to more than a century of change at IUP. Built in 1894, its arched windows and steep-pitched roof evoke a time when education was both a civic duty and a sacred privilege. Initially serving as a model school for teacher training, Wilson Hall welcomed some of Indiana's youngest students through its heavy wooden doors. Among them, a young boy named James Stewart, better known to the world as Jimmy. Long before he captivated audiences in classics such as It's a Wonderful Life and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, young Jimmy walked these halls, learning his ABCs beneath the building's vaulted ceilings. Today, Wilson Hall is used mostly for classrooms in the Department of Criminology and Criminal Justice. Along Oakland Avenue is Waller Hall. Built in 1927, Waller Hall began its life as a gymnasium, echoing with the shouts of student athletes. It even had a swimming pool in its basement. But time, like education, brings change. In the 1980s, Waller Hall was reimagined, reborn as the home of IUP's Department of Theater. Where once bleachers stood, now stages rise. And where games were once played, stories began to unfold. Today, Waller Hall is more than just a building. It's a crucible of creativity. Inside, rehearsals for Shakespearean tragedies share space with avant-garde dance, student-led productions, and the hum of lighting boards and sewing machines. Its black box theater fosters an intimate connection between performer and audience, every whisper and footstep amplified by proximity and purpose. Attached to Waller Hall to form the university's Performing Arts Center is Fisher Auditorium. It is a timeless monument to music, memory, and the magic of the stage. Since opening its doors in 1939, Fisher has welcomed generations of students, locals, and legends alike. Its nearly 1,500-seat auditorium has made it a destination, not just for the IUP community, but for performers whose names echo through the history of American music. Here, Bob Dylan's poetic lyrics once floated through the rafters. Willie Nelson's guitar twanged across the stage, and James Brown brought his signature soul. But Fisher is more than a concert hall. It's a cultural crossroads. For decades, Broadway touring productions have made their way to this Western Pennsylvania stage, bringing the bright lights of New York to a small-town audience. From classic musicals to bold new works, Fisher has served as a gateway to the broader world of theater. Also facing the Oak Grove is Stapleton Library. Opened in 1981 as an addition to Stabley Library, it was built as a symbol of IUP's growing ambition. A fusion of function and form, its red brick exterior and clean lines reflect a post-war confidence in progress and the power of information. It's named for Patrick J. Stapleton, Jr., IUP class of 1949 and a World War II veteran, who was a member of the Pennsylvania State Senate for more than 30 years. High on the front wall is the name of the building. When the name was installed, a comma was placed after Stapleton, but before Jr., which violates most modern style guides. Legend has it that soon after Stapleton Library opened, a member of IUP's faculty mentioned the grammatical error in one of their classes. The next morning, when the professor arrived at their office, they found the comma resting on their desk. Under the cover of darkness, an unnamed student had climbed a ladder and removed the comma. Today, you can still see the post in the wall where the comma had once been, standing as an example of the grit and determination of IUP's students. Rising gracefully on the edge of the Oak Grove is a tribute to one of IUP's founding figures. This is Jane Leonard Hall, the third building on IUP's campus to honor the woman who has been called IUP's George Washington. Leonard, the school's beloved preceptress, pioneered teacher education in Pennsylvania. For over 4 decades, she shaped generations of students with her firm guidance and progressive ideals. Aunt Jane, as she was known, encouraged students to go forth, be true, be brave, be successful. The first Leonard Hall was constructed on the edge of the oak grove in 1903 and was destroyed by fire in 1952. The university rebuilt, and the second Leonard Hall opened the following year, and that version stood until 2017 when it was demolished to make room for Kovalchick Hall. This third Leonard Hall opened in 2015 as the Humanities and Social Sciences Building and was dedicated in Leonard's honor in 2022 because we couldn't imagine our campus without her. Today, the red brick structure houses the College of Arts, Humanities, Media, and Public Affairs and is a gateway between the university's past and future. Much like the woman for whom it is named, Jane Leonard Hall blends quiet strength with unwavering purpose, an enduring symbol of the university's intellectual heart. From above, Cogswell Hall pulses with rhythm. The home of IUP's music programs, Cogswell has long been a sanctuary for sound. The current building, constructed in 1960, was remodeled in the early 2000s to keep up with the changing times. Its interior includes state-of-the-art rehearsal spaces, recording studios, and DeSico Hall, where performances echo through the air like a hymn to creativity. Musicians from across Western Pennsylvania and beyond have trained within its walls, from classical pianists to jazz drummers. It's also the home to the legend, the IUP Marching Band. Also known as the Beast of the East, the band is known all over the state for its size, skill, and ability to steal the show at band showcases. For more than 100 years, the band has performed not just at football games and in local parades. It has traveled as far as Paris, France to put on a show. Just beside Cogswell Hall is Sprouse Hall. Named for Edna Lee Sprouse, a professor in the English and Drama Department from 1915 to 1943, Sprouse Hall is a beacon for creativity and craft. Here, the fine arts breathe and flourish. Painting, woodworking, graphic design, the hallmarks of imagination taking shape in brick and beam. At Sprouse Hall, art isn't confined to classrooms. It flows outward, shaping minds, communities, and the world beyond. One such example has changed the way the world is entertained. A fine arts major, Chad Hurley, graduated in 1999 and a few years later made a significant impact on the world when he and some colleagues created a video sharing platform they called YouTube. At the southern side of IUP's campus, a storied landmark rises into view, George P. Miller Stadium. Since 1962, this stadium has been more than bleachers and turf. It is a beacon of school spirit, a rallying point for a proud community where generations of IUP student athletes have chased glory. Home to the Crimson Hawks football, track and field, lacrosse, and field hockey teams, Miller Stadium stands as a testament to IUP's enduring legacy of athletic excellence. On crisp autumn Saturdays, the quiet hills of Indiana, Pennsylvania echo with the pulse of possibility. The stadium stirs to life. The crowd roars, crimson and gray flood the stands, and the IUP marching band fills the air with thunderous, stirring music. Cheerleaders ignite the sidelines. The Crimson Hawks take the field. There has been much to cheer for here. With the best overall record in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference history, IUP's football program has reached the NCAA playoffs 22 times. More than a dozen players have gone on to the NFL, but all found their footing here on this field. But one of the most famous football games in IUP football history wasn't played here. It happened on a cold and rainy afternoon in Atlantic City, New Jersey in 1968. Facing mighty Delaware in the Boardwalk Bowl, played inside the Atlantic City Convention Hall, better known for Miss America pageants than gridiron battles, IUP was a huge underdog. IUP led by 1 point late in the game, but with only 16 seconds left on the clock, the Blue Hens scored a touchdown, dashing IUP's hopes of what would have been a major upset. Miller Stadium has witnessed more than touchdowns and tackles. Until the opening of the Kovalchick complex in 2012, this was where generations turned their tassels as IUP commencement ceremonies unfolded beneath open skies. Modern and massive, the Kovalchick Convention and Athletic Complex symbolizes IUP's leap into the 21st century. Opened in 2011, this 150,000 square foot facility hosts everything from NCAA basketball games and volleyball matches to concerts, conventions, and the occasional circus or monster truck rally. Named for the Kovalchick family whose support made the project possible, it reflects the community's commitment to progress. Its 5,000-seat Ed Fry Arena honors the legendary track and field coach, but it's more than a sports venue. From high school graduations to concerts, the Kovalchick Complex is Indiana County's gathering place. Its dynamic glass and brick design glows in the evening sun, visible even from the hills beyond town. Dissecting Indiana Borough is Philadelphia Street, the main thoroughfare of this idyllic college town. It stretches like a thread through the community with the spirit of tradition and togetherness, supporting the symbiotic town and gown relationship. Here, history echoes in brick facades and family-run storefronts, while the energy of campus life pulses just steps away. Students and residents stroll the sidewalks together, grabbing coffee, swapping stories, and sharing the rhythms of a small-town life. Around the holidays, Philadelphia Street is the home of the annual It's a Wonderful Life Festival, named after the movie starring Indiana's native son, Jimmy Stewart. The main attraction, a huge pine tree adorned with ornaments and lights to celebrate Christmas. It's a fitting display, as Indiana County has long been known as the Christmas tree capital of the world. But it's each fall, during IUP's homecoming, that Philadelphia Street truly comes alive. The morning sun catches on floats and marching bands as crowds gather curbside. Generations of alumni return, lining the parade route with pride as student organizations, local businesses, and civic groups roll by in a vibrant celebration. It's more than a parade. It's a homecoming in the truest sense, a joyful collision of past and present, a reminder that this street, in this town, is where memories are made and traditions endure. In this small stretch of road lies a big story of connection, pride, and the enduring heartbeat of a town and its university. For 150 years, students have walked the paths of IUP. They arrive with questions and leave with purpose. From the heart of campus to the streets of Indiana, this university has been a place where potential is discovered, challenged, and transformed. IUP stands for opportunity, for resilience, for a belief in the power of learning to shape careers and lives. It's where first-generation students and legacy families come together and where hometown dreams grow into a global impact. Generations of students have come here to grow in confidence, in knowledge, and in character. And when they leave, they carry more than a degree. They leave confident, with a sense of purpose, ready to lead, serve, and change the world. This is Indiana University of Pennsylvania, where for 150 years, journeys begin and futures take flight.